Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Monday, September 8th, 2025. Today was like watching paint dry. It was a pretty boring day. We really didn't get a whole lot of movement. And you can see here. So this was the big drop on Friday. So this is just fib retracements. And remember, I said this is what the bulls had to get above to basically come up and retest these highs again. So we made it right in the middle. I thought we were going to get up to the 78% retracement level, pulled back and went to our normal, the moving average, and buyers stepped in. And it was a nothing day. It was pretty boring. It was not easy to make money. We took an IWM long trade that didn't really go anywhere, kind of stayed still. We had a SPY short trade, good entry, and then it kind of popped up and just went nowhere. So there was really not a whole lot of money to be made on it. It could be the streets waiting for next Wednesday for the Fed meeting. I don't know if they're going to be able to carry it on that long, just in this tight range, but again, I don't really know what the surprise will be. If he does 50 basis points, great. That's it. But if he does 25, are they going to have a hissy fit about it? And Trump's going to go on saying that he needs to fire Powell and this and that. But in any case, today was boring. We didn't really do anything with the fund. I made a couple trades. It just, like I said, it was like pulling teeth. We lost $100. It was nothing. I just, like I said, I didn't really have a feel on what we were doing. I was looking for a bigger move, but the big move came right at the open, and we grinded higher and then just went nowhere. So the bulls, it's the same thing. They got to get it above the 65.15. From there, they would make a move up to the 65.34. Now, if we take a look at the 2 minute chart, but now we're doing the reverse. We're going to see what the bears need to get through, and you can see. So remember, on the upside, the bulls have to get through this. On the downside, the bears need to push it below the 64.68, 64.57. If they get below that, I believe these lows are getting taken out. And from there, what we would look for is a move then coming somewhere down into the, probably down at this 64.16, but more likely coming down and testing these lows here at the 63.84. So that's really what we have to watch right now as the upside. If the bulls can get above it, then we're probably heading up to the 64.34, more likely up to the 64.50. If the bears can get it through the 64.68, 64.57, then we start looking at a move coming somewhere. Well, really, you can see the 64.61. That's going to match up with the 64.57. So if they can get below these levels, that's when we start looking down at the 64.16, 63.83, and that would be really the important levels for the bears to get through and the bulls to hold if they want higher. Because if they start going through those levels, now we start looking at lower levels where we start looking at the 64.25, 63.96, and then down at the 63.60. Now, below those, that's where things start getting, heated up, and we start looking for a move coming down to test the 6,300, 6,250. So today we really got nothing. You can see we don't really have bearish divergences on this move, but if we got above it, then we would have bearish divergences on the 60-minute chart. But the daily chart is giving us some warning signs right here, and that's really what I'm following. So I had mentioned that today was a possible day that we could add some kind of mini crash. Obviously, that didn't happen. These are dates. They're not, they're cycle dates to keep an eye out for. You don't make any big bets on them. I like to just have some type of position in case it moves out. But there's another one on the 10th. I'm not sure if it's is today was any. It really was going like the week of the 8th where things were supposed to get a little heated up. So today did nothing. Like I said, we had that IWM put position, and honestly, that came pretty close at the open here. Hang on one. Okay, so here you can see when IWM when they opened up today, it was where's the big candle? Let me just see some. I think it might have been the two. Yeah. So when we opened today, this thing really started. You can see right here, it just came straight down on it. It was very similar to what took place on Friday. So I actually thought maybe these 235 puts that we had were going to come into play, but obviously once we made it to the moving averages, buyers stepped in, and you can see it was all selling, all buying, and then we just chopped around. We had some buying, and that was it. So we really didn't get a whole lot of information. So let's go to our other charts and look at some other levels here. So this is IWM. What we're looking at are the GEX levels here. So obviously, you can see the 240. If the bulls can get above 240 on IWM, then really the next line that we're looking at, these are just targets. They're AI targets. So 241.80, 244.09, and then we have a GEX number up at the 245. So those would be that. Now on the downside, that you can see that we have 235 is the GEX number here. But the thing that I think is interesting, this is expected volatility. So you can see when we come into the Friday time period here, the upside is 243, downside is 232. So we should expect some type of volatility as we get towards the end of the week. On the spiders, you can see this is where we made it above the first GEX level here, and we kind of hit our head on the second one at the 62 at 652, and then that's when we had that big sell off. We came up and we made it up to the 650, and that's it. So if the bulls can get above it, then we're looking at 652. Above that, then we're looking at a move up to the 655. Now on the downside, if they can get it through to 644, you can just see this is just support right here at the 640.91. But really, the next options GEX level is down at the 635. So for tomorrow, again, it's hard to make anything out of this. I think really the best thing to do is just do this. If the bulls can get it above the 65.15, expect to move up to the 65.34, 65.50. If the bears can get it through the 64, 68, 64.57, then we're looking at a test down at the Friday's lows, and below that is when we start looking at moves coming somewhere down into the 64.16 and possibly down to the 63.83. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Have a fantastic night, and I'll talk to you guys.